All right, today's email comes from Jason. Jason's been training jiu-jitsu for about a year, says he's enjoying it. However, he's getting the feeling that a lot of his teammates or training partners are really encouraging him to want to do jiu-jitsu. So now he's feeling pressured that if he's not competing because he has no desire to compete, that leaves Jason wondering if he doesn't compete, does that mean that he's not serious about jiu-jitsu? Let's get into it. Jason, let me ease your mind a little bit. Some of the most dangerous people I've ever trained with have never stepped in a competition mat. So somewhere along the way, jiu-jitsu started to pick up the mindset that if you don't compete, you're not a real jiu-jitsu practitioner. You're basically just doing cosplay as a grappler. Meanwhile, competition looks like this. You pay $120 to fight a stranger in a high school gym at 9 a.m. after weighing in dehydrated for a plastic medal that'll live in a drawer next to all your old charging cables. That's not a requirement. It's a personality type. But here's the truth, Jason. Competition is just one expression of jiu-jitsu, not the very definition of it. Jiu-jitsu was never meant to be a pure sport. It's always been about it being a problem-solving system, a pressure test, a mirror, if you will. Some people compete because they need that edge, right? It keeps them sharp. Others train because it keeps them sane and disciplined. Going back to what I was saying in the very beginning, there have been countless guys that I've trained with over the years. They've never competed in any kind of, jiu-jitsu tournament or even kickboxing match. But these guys knew how to fight, they knew how to defend themselves, and it was unquestionable that they can take care of themselves in a street encounter, which I think for most people that do jiu-jitsu, men and women, that's one of the biggest components of it, right? You want to feel confident walking down the street, like you're not going to be taken advantage of. One of the things I always try to tell my students over the years is that, when you see high-level athletes, it can be boxing, it can be MMA, they don't excel in a vacuum. Right? They may be fighting in the ring by themselves, but at the end of the day, it took a lot of people to get them to the point where they're able to step into that ring and compete and be at that high level. We don't often get to see the partners that these guys train with, right? It didn't happen in a vacuum. Steel sharpens steel. So the only way they're getting better is the people that they're training with are definitely pushing them and making them better athletes, right? And now, does that mean that everybody that trains at that level is going to compete? Absolutely not, right? You have people that do it just for the love of doing it and have no desire. You have people that do it just for the money. It's important not to get short-sighted and only see the kind of the tip of the iceberg. And, you're only good if you compete. You ever hear about power scaling in comic book fandom? That's where fans try to measure who's stronger based on who beats who. Basically, if character A beats character B and B beats C, then that means A must be stronger than C. So we're to try to put every fictional hero and villain in some sort of invisible hierarchy or leaderboard. Some people treat BJJ the same way. They think if you haven't competed and beaten somebody else in a tournament, you haven't scaled up your skill. Like strength or rank can only be defined by who you beat on some bracket. That's really just a comic book mindset put into real life, and it doesn't fit. Let's be honest, most of the pressure to compete isn't about growth. It's about ego. People don't always want them to compete for you. They want you to compete to validate them. Because if you don't compete, then that forces them to take an inward look and ask themselves, am I doing it because I love it? Or am I doing it for some kind of proof? That's a dangerous thought, and we don't like those. Being serious about jiu-jitsu does not mean that you're competing. It means that you're consistent. It means that you're showing up, training with intent, and respecting the art and the people around you. If jiu-jitsu improves your physical and mental health, your confidence, and your ability to handle pressure in the real world, congratulations. You, my friend, are doing it right. So Jason, my friend, you're not missing out. You're just choosing your lane. And the good news is that you can change your lane down the road, right? You don't have to be stuck in one particular lane all the time. So it's just like being on the highway. Sometimes you need to get on the fast lane to get over and pass something. Then you can always cruise back to the other lane. And jiu-jitsu isn't about proving yourself to strangers. It's about proving something to yourself. And sometimes the most grown man move that you can make is knowing what you don't need.